Okay, Earl, you ready? And
Amended Planning Board, May 26th, meeting to order. First on our agenda is the approval of the minutes. Everyone have a chance to look at them. Get a motion? Teresa, motion? I'll second.
Charlie, second, are you second? Charlie, you. Okay, thanks.
First on our agenda is
Yes, Rob.
Ferraro site plan.
Oh, I can get one more chair. I'm sorry. Oh, thanks, Glenn. Thank you.
How's it going? Good, how are you? Good, good. Did you know I'm Glenn Thornton, Thornton Engineering, and I'm here with Brian and Rachel Ferraro, the owners, applicant. And I was at the last month's meeting, and there were a few items that came up that I think have been satisfactorily addressed on the revised drawings. And other than that, we really didn't have anything else to address except for EPOD number 5, the historic. I can't remember what it is, but yeah, so yes, we are definitely, the house location is definitely within EPOD 5 because the boundary is 500 feet from the cemetery property line. So we are within that area. I know you've received comments from the Historic Preservation Committee. Is that what it is? And so we're in front of you now, not knowing if we need an EPOD permit or not. We're assuming we would, and we're assuming it's something that we should request from the board. I have a letter drafted up if we need to submit a letter requesting it. I'm just unclear if this would qualify for an EPOD permit because it's a replacement of a structure that was lost in a natural disaster. I don't know.
I would have to defer to Don
Yeah.
because there's also a cemetery, and I'm not sure the cemetery falls within the EPOD.
Yeah, so, and seeing here the HPC, their position is that an EPOD permit would be required. Which, so the board has a draft resolution before it that's been aging since last time we met. It's been there for about a month. One of the provisions in it speaks to the EPOD permit. If you don't mind, I can read it. The resolution that this board may consider this evening says that an EPOD permit for the single family home in EPOD 5 is issued for the development as depicted on the site plan. Given the proposed development will not adversely affect the physical integrity or historic character of the listed site as follows. For all the reasons set forth herein, I'm skipping over some generic language, particularly given the historic use of the property as a single family home and given the proposal replaces a previously existing single family home in the substantially same location as previously existing. That's correct, right? Yeah. And further, given there's no reasonable alternative to the applicant's intention to rebuild the home at the same location on the property, particularly given the topography of the property and the resultant limitations thereof. So I think this board's position is likely going to be that an EPOD permit is required. It's within the EPOD area, you're building there. But if the board moves the resolution as written, it would conclude as it is there that we're building the same similar structure in the same place that's historically been there. That might be one position the board may take. Okay, that makes sense. I think the other, just to jump on it, the other issue was this. Given we're talking about the cemetery, was the access to the cemetery. I know there's been, my understanding is that there's been historical access through the driveway depicted on this map into that cemetery. The resolution as drafted will have a condition in there that essentially says, talk to the town board and clarify what the rights are relative to access to the cemetery, notated on the plan.
Who would determine
I think the town board with consultation from the town attorney can get you to the end of that. But the way the resolution's set up is to basically say, essentially, there's a question here, please get that resolved and have your map reflect whatever the reality is relative to that access.
Do we know if there is an easement, access easement existing now?
I don't think we definitively. I don't know that we definitively know that.
Okay.
I think there needs to be communication between y'all and the town.
There may be in your abstract a listing if you go back far enough.
So I know it was like the 1912s that the town started taking care of the cemetery. I looked at that far. This was a decade ago, that when we bought the property originally. But I did look through our purchase documents from 2011 when we purchased the property, and I could not find specific easement in that situation. But
I can look in the property file tomorrow at work and get in touch with you. Okay.
Yeah.
We both recall that language when we were signing a mortgage. We recall the language of easement being, but it could have just been usage of the cemetery, not specifically access.
Okay.
but all of that in consideration, we'd be happy to assign an easement, giving use of the driveway to access that.
Okay.
We have no trouble.
Okay.
And that'll be worked out with the town board then.
Yeah.
That issue, okay, because there's a number of other things like the size of the access easement, the time of day when it might be available for use. There might be some restrictions. I don't know if you would want anybody using your driveway at 10 o'clock at night, things like that.
Yeah, we've never had an issue, a negative issue with the cemetery, and especially with the town, and it gets so few visitors that, maybe 10, 50 people a year show up to visit.
It's
So
a very cool cemetery.
Anybody going to a cemetery at 10 o'clock at night.
No, that's.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you're agreeable to the condition that essentially says. Get in touch with the town board about. Sorting that out. Once it's sorted out, we'll sign your site, we'll sign your site plan. Hopefully that's a very quick process.
I think
So on your shoulders, usually it's the attorney who might slow things down, but it sounds like you're on.
Come on,
No, it sounds like you're on top of it and they're gonna move it right along.
I'm actually not the town attorney, I'm just the planning board attorney. so,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
the town, my understanding is the town attorney's been apprised of the situation.
Yeah, I just wouldn't want this held up for 4 months as we're trying to get that resolved.
I
No.
imagine. I hope that wouldn't be the case.
I mean, your development plans,
we're ready to start building as soon as we're approved. So we'd love to get the foundation and structure and roof on before winter. So ideally, sooner the better.
Yes, me too. I don't have any issues. And thank you for providing, it looks like this is additional information that we didn't see last. I did that today. Yeah. So this is the old house looks like, and we've got what you're proposing here. So I think it's definitely the same character and same kind. It's not like you're building a 2-3-story structure there with mansions. So I think I don't have any issues with it, and it seems like you're amenable to the easement. So yeah, technically it's a little bit farther away from the cemetery, and it's a little bit even less. It's a little lower, from the driveway. Can't see from the road at all. Blends in tonally with the woods.
You're not gonna be up on the recent burial list there? That's not gonna be like
67.
White Man,
Mhm.
where it's
I saw
67,
67.
yeah.
but I've
That
never
was-
seen anybody visit.
That was a spouse of someone who passed. Like,
That was a Desmond in 67.
No, it wasn't a Desmond. Desmonds are long gone, but I think it was a grave.
I think Dave and Desmond were the same family.
Oh, well, it was a spouse that was buried there. So,
Pretty neat stuff.
the only one that gets visited is the one, like the original Mormon. And the, what is the Revolutionary War guy?
Yeah, Elijah Rose. And we figured out the first burial just we that was 1812.
Any engineering comments?
No, I thought the HPC submittal, that was great. Did you guys do the SketchUp model?
Yeah.
That were really nice. I opened it up, I was like, wow.
Oh, the sketchup model for the house?
Yeah.
That's the architect, Dan.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Very good. No, I got nothing. I thought it was great. Very helpful.
We have a motion?
Before you make your, I'm just very concerned about the delay that might be caused by the easement, because I know they're never quick. I mean, getting things sorted out. I'm just nervous that it's going to drag on for 3 months or something before you'll sign the plans. I mean, could we add a note to the drawings, easement to be granted to the town? I mean, that's what we do with the water authority. We put that on their easement to be granted.
That would be fine. I would
Okay,
say that'd be fine. Fine with me.
thank you.
Welcome.
Beautiful.
Now do we hear more?
Happy in the residence.
I don't know, I mean, I don't know if there's an easement already there. Right, so you put easement to be granted. It's-
Verify existing easement. Or verify if.
Let me ask this, we have a member of the town board here tonight. Um. Do we have any sense of how quickly this could be accomplished? Perchance.
There are discussions already happening that is there an easement by necessity in place? Which is, I don't want to speak out of school at that, it's more of a legal description of what that is, but that sounds like it's a pretty common thing for when a landlocked parcel is created like this has been, and then the discussion is, you know, there's a letter that has been penned and sent to the, I don't know if you've received it
From the
yet.
HBC.
Okay, no, from the town attorney, which
yes.
states that the town is maintaining our rights to access the cemetery. We plan to maintain the rights to access the
Yeah.
cemetery. So once we get into that, I'm a belt and suspenders guy. And I kind of like to see the easement that's attached to an abstract, because then when you buy the property, you know. But yeah, I think, can we say that the town plans to maintain access easements to this property through the driveway?
Can I clarify one thing? I don't think this is a landlocked parcel. I think there is frontage on Rush Mountain Road for the cemetery.
But it would have to be graded to access it from the road.
Right.
But
Are you ready to pull a building permit?
we are, our plans are done, yeah, we're very close to, we're just waiting for the final numbers from the contract, but we're using John at the beginning. And,
We won't do the numbers till we have all the permits because they fluctuate. So
Mm.
we have rough numbers and we're all set to go with the rough numbers.
but we do have the
But we don't
funds
have
from
one.
insurance, and we're ready to start, so.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a lot. I like to have things be specific. I mean, even right here, we can see there's, he's saying this, you're saying there's frontage, you know, now.
Why is this tied to the site plan approval though? The access to the cemetery, which is outside the applicant's control.
Yeah, I think, at least an issue when you came in, we had the driveway crossing over the cemetery.
Correct.
So that sort of raised a flag as to whether there was an ingress egress issue that needed to be sorted out. I think that was the genesis of,
It did, but why is that tied to the site plan application? I'm not trying to be difficult,
well, it
but
seems like we are.
I always am, but no,
No, you're
it
advocating
just
for your
means that it really has nothing to do with the site plan application itself, and you
I
can put in the
agree.
record that the owner, the applicant has stated they will grant an access easement if needed.
If the applicant responds with a letter to the town board, that they will grant the easement, have an override, would that be sufficient?
Depends on what you mean by sufficient. I guess it's up, I guess at the end of the day, it's up to this board, in terms of whether it feels, to what extent this ingress egress on this driveway needs to be defined upfront.
The the HBC drew a little triangle. And I don't know if that's in anybody's notes, but
Yes, they should have oh,
they drew a little triangle. And I said that was okay at their meeting. They said they would draw a letter saying as such, like I was there at the meeting, the triangle is fine. It defined the easement area. It was just the base of the driveway. And they'd already like figured it out by the time we got to the meeting 2 weeks ago.
everything that Jeff Tash, the chair, emailed me is in your new packet.
Let me just think on this for.
So the easement is defined as, or at least the suggestion from the HBC on what they need, or they think they need, is defined in the little triangle on the, I mean, I can kind of,
So what's your suggestion, Glenn?
Grant approval, unconditional approval. And put it in the record that the applicant has stated they will grant an easement for access to the cemetery if needed. It may not be needed, but if it is, they're more than willing to grant the easement. Because I imagine anybody that's used the cemetery, gone to the cemetery and maintained the cemetery has used your driveway. And
Yeah.
yes, it's,
They
nothing's
do a
changing.
wonderful job. They never block it and everyone, yeah, we've always had a great relationship with the guys who mow. You know, and
to me, it's an existing condition that was there. You're not changing it. It's not like you had a driveway here and you want to put it there now
Right.
and you're infringing. That's why I think it would be, my opinion, okay to just say that it's approved, you know, and that they are willing to grant the easement if it's required, you know, if none exists, just to move things along.
Is that grandfathered? And
I mean, so the town needs to look into what's there and how, I mean, yeah, it's an issue that needs to be examined.
When there's no work being proposed on the driveway either. So it's not like that area is getting affected. Just a thought of it's kind of out of the way. It's not changing, so it's not like they're gonna put large stones in front of it so no one can access it, so. Just a thought.
Do I have a motion? Including, an easement in a short period of time, in the next board meeting? The next town board meeting.
As I was gonna ask, when is your next meeting with the holiday? I don't know. Is
We
it
just-
15th?
Cancel.
Let
July
me just think
15th.
about this for a minute,
Okay.
please. So I think you got a few options. One is just on the theory that it's pre-existing and you don't feel that it impacts the site plan itself. To strike the condition altogether. Okay, that's one option. Another option is to leave it as it is, which says you won't sign it until they resolve it. A third option might be to change the condition so that it essentially says any access issues would be resolved at a later time. So you could put prior to issuance of the C of O, that just
Oh, that's
they can
great.
get going.
That's great.
Instead of prior to signatures. You kind of have a bunch of different ways you could go here.
I think that last one is a good option.
Does that seem like a fair middle ground then?
I think it is. I mean, that should be enough time, you know, while John's building the house.
Yeah.
To get the easement squared away.
Yeah.
It might only
Feel
take
great
a
about
week, but we just don't know.
so C of O would be condition, and that gives you, that gets you out from under the panic of, it can take a few months then if it happened to.
Oh, don't tell the attorneys that though, so. It's urgently needed. Get this resolved.
So, okay, then that leaves if we're gonna sign the plan, we wanna say something there. Do we wanna say proposed easement or if needed?
That would be fine. We just,
Both of those.
we just don't know the area.
That's
of
what
the
I'm saying, that's the,
easement. Yeah,
maybe just a generic note.
that'd be fine. Can you give some help with the note though? Like who would the easement be granted to?
Would be the town,
The town.
if we need one.
Okay.
So whether the applicant clarify and resolve access issues right between the cemetery and the nearby cemetery, including those identified in the comments. Also the satisfaction of the town board of designee and all prior to issuance of a C of O. With the. With a site plan note. Note to be added. Specifying. That. And access easement. Will be provided. As needed, I mean,
I think the HPC has an abstract in there that lists who goes onto that property. I don't know if you can maybe reference just that abstract, because there's Daughters of the American Revolution, there's Boy Scouts, there's Church of Mormon. So, I mean, trying to, maybe if you just list that.
Yeah.
what if we
abstract.
say that an access easement to the cemetery? We don't specify. It's to the cemetery, yeah.
Okay.
So what's the connection to the Mormons?
There's one of the, you know, I don't know,
Graham,
it's one of, it's not one of the founders where they would, you know,
It's not
across
Brigham Young.
people from Utah. No, it's not Brigham Young,
I think he's buried
but
on,
he's in Oneida, I thought.
isn't he buried on Fountain Hill Road right there?
Yeah, but it's not a main character. It's a supporting role in the foundation of the Mormons.
Do
But it's
you,
enough that bands show up and
Really?
huge amounts of people come out, just a couple times, it's happened. The van with a bunch of kids and they stay forever.
I already know that.
Just run around.
oh.
I have thoughts. That I want to share. I have a resolution here, a drafted resolution with. The revised, condition. So we have the same condition, except for now it says that it's gonna be. Resolved prior to the issuance of the C of O. With the site plan note to be added specifying that an access easement to the cemetery will be provided. By the applicant as needed. That. Does
That
that
works for
sound
us.
agreeable to everybody?
Sounds good.
Do we want to have somebody? Guess we'll leave it up to the town board. So I think the only thing I would say is. As a word of warning. That if you go to get building and you can't resolve this, then now you. Built your house and you don't have to CO. Which is why I like to say you get it before the building permit, because you avoid that problem.
I have no worry about that at all.
Okay. Okay. So is that what the board wants to propose for that fifth condition?
Yep.
Move the resolution otherwise as written? Okay,
Okay. Are you making the motion? Okay, thank you.
All in favor?
Beautiful. That works. Thank you.
good. I will, state the electronic version of the.
Oh,
resolution.
thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Sure.
So the ball is in Brent's court now?
I think he's the liaison.
Yeah, you can start with me. I'll get it to him, kind of.
Right.
No.
That would be nice if there was,
Do you think there is a bond?
If you go back far enough, you should find it.
Well,
Yeah, I'll go in the property card. Yeah, anything that we have that was supplied to us. I mean, we have the black with the right letter, white, lettering
Yeah.
type deeds in there, but I'll look in yours tomorrow and I'll let you know regardless what I
Maybe
find.
be to the town, and maybe between the residents of that house and the
Mm.
cemetery. And you don't look just at the town, you look at
Yeah,
your abstract for the cemetery.
Look forward to it.
Yeah.
Probably what I couldn't find it.
I think we're good.
Good.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I
Good to see you
will,
guys.
as always, get the resolution from him. I'll send out the letter, email it to y'all as soon as I have it, okay? Thank you. Have a good
Thank you.
night.
No game?
No, rained
Good to
out.
see you.
Yeah, I know. Story of my life.
Rain or rain?
It was the thunder and lightning was the
Yeah.
concern. Yeah.
Thanks.
Hi, take care.
And
My daughter's across her game baseball.
I know.
Oh, do you have a comment?
Well, I think it's just, I mean, it would be bad. We've played in some stuff and delayed, but,
Warren.
okay. Do you wanna, keep going? With your meeting?
Where are we on the agenda, Chairman?
Yeah, the whole discussion.
Well, let me see. I didn't even look to see if someone, it's just us.
I'm in the dark.
Yeah.
I was told yesterday that I was gonna be.
Okay.
vice chair.
I feel like I told you before.
Yesterday.
I told you before. Emails, read your emails. I'll just start calling you, Earl, and let you know.
What's Mr. Powell coming up with?
Well, his special use permit expired because he didn't move on it, so he
Oh.
just needs reapproval. But we only have amendment is a choice, but it's really just reapproval. Same exact thing, nothing is changing.
Well, something is changing.
Well, something. Oh, he did change something?
He added more dogs.
No, I thought it matched the resolution.
Hey, right. Let's have a look.
Okay. Ooh, good catch. That's-
I just quickly looked through it when I was before we started. If you look at the letters towards the end,
The one that he rewrote me, because he submitted the original letter and then wrote kind of an amendment to the original. Does that make sense? No, I don't think he specified the dogs in that updated
well,
one.
there's two letters in here. One is from Robert Powell Robbie.
Yep,
One is a longer letter that says he would like to be able to board 10 dogs.
that was his original letter when I think he used the same basic application because nothing changed on it, is what I'm guessing. I didn't catch that. You're good.
Let me see.
Is it on the actual, I don't have mine up here, I'm sorry.
Yeah, was that the original application? I don't know.
I think it was, and you brought them down to 8 because when it was higher, it got into something. It was maximum dogs. I think it included owner's own dogs as well.
Is everyone here for that meeting? Because this is one that I recused myself on.
Correct,
on the
yes,
waiver.
right. As far as I know, I've not heard otherwise. So as long as we just have one more.
Is this him coming back on the recommendation to come back in 6 months?
Correct, because
No.
well, no, wasn't that, I'm sorry, it expired, yeah.
He did something.
He didn't do it. He has a year, I believe is what it ended up being, and it's been a couple.
And is he proposing a different format?
You know, he says he's not making any changes to the special use permit. And then the previous permit allows up to 8 dogs.
Yeah, I've attached a copy of the original letter of intent. Below is my updated intent. So yeah, maybe it sounds
That's
like
what
you're right. This
yeah.
here is an old letter.
Correct. I
Okay.
think it was just, he probably had the application, I mean, because it was all the same information. Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. All right, my apologies
No.
though that I didn't clarify.
No,
So yeah, it's just really reapproval, but we just don't have a code for that.
well, it expired, so
So it's an
technically new
it's an
application.
approval. Yeah,
But it
correct.
should be, since we've already heard it and he's agreeing to the underlying
Yeah.
application, it shouldn't be that complicated, hopefully. Famous last words.
Right, exactly.
And the board was talking.
You don't need to come unless they need you. Jake, you are.
I will plan not to come, but if things change, just
Yeah.
give me a call and I'll.
Thank you. That's why I didn't give you a copy. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's kind
Yeah.
of, kind of.
Sorry, I forgot
It's
to-
like a subtle hint.
Usually special use permits that are not. Yeah, thank you.
That's the only.
Only
on the
thing,
agenda, right?
yeah, so if you are recusing,
Yeah.
You can stay home. Yeah, you would hang out with Jake. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's that, yeah, I'm being silly.
And then I have nothing else after that.
Okay.
The only other possibility is Palo, but I have to get him for the zoning board, but he's changed it. It may or may not require you anymore. So after July 17th, I have no agenda items for you, but our cutoff date hasn't passed either, so we could be in August. I'll keep you posted.
So our July 3rd one, or whatever that one was, is definitely off.
July 3rd is absolutely canceled.
Okay.
Town board canceled it for us. So yeah, July 17th is the next time I will see you.
Are you good?
I'm
Do I hear a motion?
adjourned. Thank you. I need a second. Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Please hold.